Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Welcome into another edition of Sportswrap Overtime. Craig Loper, Jeff Snyder, Brian Parsons, the usual suspects here on a beautiful Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend. A long weekend. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Everything was good. Did you guys have a good time?
Back to reality, you know?
Yeah, it is. We're right back to it.
Yeah, had a really good weekend, though.
Good. We're starting off with the local powerhouse right now. Virginia Wesleyan softball heading off to the D3 College World Series in Bloomington, Illinois. Winners of 15 straight. You were at the regionals and the supers.
Oh my goodness, what a team!
This team is rolling.
They are rolling. The record is 46-3-1, and they open up NCAA tournament play against. How about this? Their rivals, Randolph-Macon from right up the road in Ashland. Wesleyan beat Macon 4 times this season.
Yeah, right.
And Macon eliminated Christopher Newport, who was also a top 10 team and was riding a big winning streak.
Yeah, big game to start with when you get down there. And that first round, if I'm correct, it's a double elimination. Yeah. So if you lose, you're not out, but you go to losers bracket. So you just want to win. You don't want to use as many arms as you can. You want to win those games early.
What a fun team to cover, though.
Yeah.
You know, Division III college softball.
Yep.
And these young women are so fun to watch play. And Brandon Elliott has built a dynasty. Yeah. This is the game when they won the super regional. Okay, so they're always good for this. They win their games a lot of times by the run rule.
right. It's like 10 after 6,
8 after 5,
8 after 5. Okay.
But here's a wonderful story in this game when they punched their ticket to the College World Series when they won the super regional. This is last Thursday.
Right.
Okay, so they're rolling in this game against was it Gettysburg? Were they playing
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg
in Pennsylvania somewhere.
So this is the story here. Emma Adams, a big ovation came out when she came into the game to close it out. I'm wondering, why are the fans going so crazy for Emma? Everybody knows what's going on. Yeah. I didn't. Well, she had surgery in March on her throwing
wrist, right?
On her throwing wrist. The healing didn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to get some screws and some things implanted in there. And this was her first game back since then. And she closes out the game to send Virginia Wesleyan to yet another College World Series. They won 3 national titles, folks.
Right. Yeah. Then that's a great story. 2 months, a little more than 2 months removed from it. First time your pitching is in there to close it out, to go to the College World Series. She gets it done. She threw well. Brandon Elliott had a lot of good things to say about it.
Trust your arm in that situation, your hand.
The rehab.
Let's go ahead and go to the post-game sound that we got with Emma and head coach Brandon Elliott after the game.
Come on.
What's your injury, your comeback?
So March 29th, I broke my wrist against Guilford, and we thought everything was going well, just needed to be in a cast, and then turns out it didn't heal right. So I had to have surgery, and now I have 8 screws and a plate in my wrist.
Man.
And so I've been out since then, and recently I got cleared to throw, and so I've been working my wrist, doing a lot of PT, and today was the first innings I threw live.
And all this was unbeknownst to us.
Right.
We did not know this story, this angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you heard that round of applause, you were thinking, what's going on?
Probably just, wow, can't believe that really
happened. And I remember her from
know,
last year.
For a while there, I thought, my season was done. I had to step into a different role on the sideline, so getting to be back on the mound, it was pretty awesome.
I think was it 0-3 or 3-0?
3-0 first batter,
her first 3 pitches were balls.
Oh wow! A little nervous.
Immediately down in the count.
Just get the ball up over the plate. That was pretty much it. Just let my defense handle it.
How important is it to you? You had the injury, you had to sit out, you had the rehab, you had to come back. How important is it to you to be able to contribute to the team going forward with the run here?
I mean, my role has definitely changed, but this team has got it whether I am playing or not.
And we're going to hear Elliott, I think, talking about her.
Having a role on the bench, on the sidelines, or on the field, I know this team, we've got it in us, and, I have faith in every single one of us.
You plan on pitching in Illinois?
Crossing my fingers, yeah.
Was that her first game back from
Here he is.
today?
Look at the girls behind him, by the way.
First game back. She had surgery 6 weeks ago. Shout out to Dr. Ponton.
So explain to us, talk more about
Shout out to the doctor.
She broke her wrist 18th game into
They're
the year.
lurking back there.
They're lurking, and I get out of the way.
Surgery and do all that kind of stuff, and then here she is, right? And she's able to come in and get her an inning, and so she'll be ready to go for the World Series.
So that's why the ovation was so much.
Absolutely awesome.
He deserves it. He deserves it. Coach Elliott, I mean, what's year 17, I think, or 16
I don't know.
or 17.
I don't know the tenure.
I got to look up his bio. I looked it up recently. I forgot. I think it's 16 or 17
cold. I'll live
years.
that cold every day of the week. That's for sure. Yeah, thank you guys.
Super great to us. We all got his number personally. He texts us back. He keeps us updated with kind of what's going on because he knows kind of how we got a lot of things. We cover a lot of things and do a lot of things. But when there's a good story involving his team, he always lets us know to look out for it. So
and we really ramp up the coverage when they get to the playoffs. Like we don't necessarily have the resources to kind of cover every game.
No, it's not how it works. They play 50 plus games. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, we like to be there.
And what a situation he's built there with the atmosphere, the fans turn out. It's just a fun deal. And the same applies to what Keith Parr has done over at Christopher Newport. It's the same thing. They just unfortunately got pounced by Macon in the first
we're in a unique area.
Weekend there.
D3 we're in a unique area with 2 power D3 softball programs. It's great. So
and basketball, they're both great in basketball. They both won national titles in basketball.
Crazy.
Very, very impressive.
And then hopefully they do well when they get to Bloomington. So Randolph-Macon game is Thursday. We're recording this on Tuesday. Be on the look on Wavy TV 10 and Fox 43 for all those updates.
Yeah, just to give you an idea how hot they are going into this. They're on a 15-game winning streak.
15-game winning streak, right.
46 wins this year. 3 losses and a draw. 21-1 in conference play.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah. They're fifth in the country, ranked fifth in the country.
They are a good
I don't know
team.
who's above them, but they got a good a shot as any, I'd imagine.
Yeah, fun team to cover, fun team to watch, and we're pulling for them. Hopefully they can bring home another national title. That would be number 4 if they were able to do it this year.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. You throw the parade on Wesleyan's campus right there.
Right by the outlet mall.
Right, yeah. Put them on some buses or something, bring them all in with the trophy and everything. So good for Wesleyan. We'll keep an eye on that. And then should we take a break now and come back, Jeff?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let's take a break and we'll come back with more. Okay, we're back. Sportswrap Overtime. Welcome back to another edition of the show. Changing topics now from Virginia Wesleyan softball to professional baseball and the Baltimore Orioles, the Norfolk Tides. 2 big names you see on your screen there, Colton Cowser, Jordan Westberg. In Norfolk this week for a series against Lehigh Valley, both on rehab assignments as the O's try to find their footing and these guys try to get right and go back to the bigs.
Yeah, but the O's are in a sad state of affairs.
Hey, they won 3 in a row.
Second worst record in the American League. Only the White Sox have more losses.
Ugh.
It's been a disaster.
It's been really bad.
That's really the only way you can call it, is a disaster.
Crazy.
No, it's
tough.
unbelievable.
They're the biggest disappointment in baseball. Brandon Hyde has gotten fired.
Yeah.
The third base coach got promoted to manager.
Yeah.
Buck Britton, by the way, got promoted to take over the third base
Heck
job.
yeah.
So
Shout out to Buck.
He's working his way up.
There you go.
It's on the glory days for the Tides a couple years ago.
But so now the question, what are we doing here with the Orioles? Is this guy the manager that they answer for the rest of the season? Or, there's some chatter. I wouldn't even really call it chatter, but maybe it's wishful thinking of another Buck making a return.
Don't say it.
Buck Martinez?
Is that what we're doing? Come on. We know it.
Buck Showalter.
Are we doing that? Is that out there?
I'm not ruling it out.
That would be pretty crazy.
People loved Buck Showalter.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm all for the good nostalgic story, but man.
But they have no pitching. No. They can't hit.
No.
It's just it's really amazing. And I think a lot of people knew going into this season that pitching was going to be.
It was obvious.
Yeah.
It was obvious. Yeah. Corbin Burns walked out the door. You weren't going to pay him, or he just took another offer. Whatever. They didn't make an offer, but
Grayson Rodriguez is probably not going to pitch this entire season.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's ugly right now. Yeah. Dean Kramer, sometimes he's good, sometimes it's ugly. And I turned on one game there. It was a blowout already, so they're throwing position players, and it's like it was 19-5 against the Red Sox the other day.
More of those games this year than I can care to remember when they've had to throw position players out there to pitch because they run out of arms and the game's out of hand anyway. So
the trade deadline, Jeff, I know you're kind of locked in with baseball.
Sure.
It's July 31st is the trade deadline.
Yes.
So the question becomes with the Orioles, when you're having this sort of season, your sellers at the deadline, what are you selling off?
Are these guys going to be on the team?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, we should get into these guys, Colton Cowser and Jordan Westberg. We saw these guys come through Norfolk in the 2022 and 2023 seasons. They were both top 100 prospects in the MLB pipeline. Both have had success with the Orioles. Westberg was very consistent until an injury last year.
Hamstring injury, and it just hasn't gone well, the healing process.
And then Colton was kind of struggled at first when he got up. They sent him back down. Then since he's been back up, he's been pretty awesome.
Until opening day when he tried to slide into first base. And
that was tough.
Broke his thumb.
Yeah.
Only 4 games for Colton Cowser this year.
Yeah, this year. Right.
Jordan Westberg's played more games. He's played 23 games, so he's missed almost half the season already.
Yeah.
He did not do particularly well
in the 23
games.
Right. Yeah. Well, the Orioles aren't doing well, so not many of the guys are doing well.
I'm looking at this entire roster, and every single player is underperforming.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, except I would say Jackson Holiday would be the lone exception who actually got moved from the hitting in the 9 spot to a leadoff spot.
There we go. There we go.
He's doing well for what his age is.
Yeah. Right.
He will become a superstar. I still very much believe he will be a superstar in Major League Baseball.
You might be on an island with that in the Orioles world.
I think he'll be a very good Major League Baseball player for a long time. Superstar.
Yeah.
I think we throw that term around a little
bit. Good player.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right.
But I'm looking at this, and like, if you go by wins above replacement, I'm looking at Baseball Reference.
Yep.
Ryan O'Hearn is the most valuable player on the team.
Shout out Ryan O'Hearn.
That should not happen when you have someone like Gunnar Henderson's picked it up recently.
Right.
So that's good. But Adley Rutschman's been a ghost.
Yep.
I mean, what has happened to Adley Rutschman here?
He's injured now.
Something's going on. Something's going on. He's not seeing it right. This is really underperforming. He was an all-star the last 2 years.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
This team has been an absolute disaster. Westberg and Cowser, a good chance for the fans in Norfolk to see some Major League Baseball players. Gunnar played with the Tides this year earlier.
Yeah,
he
played the first week of the season.
Yeah, that was fun. They packed it out. They packed it out those few first games. He was
Jordan Westberg, 30th pick in the 2020 draft out of
Mississippi State,
and Colton Cowser, 5th pick
out of don't tell me
2021.
It's a Texas Sam Houston State.
Man, look at you.
It is okay. I didn't know if it was that one or like UTSA or something. I was
Sam Houston State.
Yeah. Crazy baseball power down there.
Yeah.
So all those guys too are locked into their respective programs now because the NCAA baseball tournament they just all regional sites. So Westberg following Mississippi State. So.
Yeah, that was one of the good things. We'd go out there to talk to some of those guys, and we would ask them. They'd always want to talk about. Remember when Connor Norby was here? He was so excited about
ECU.
Like, what if ECU would go to Omaha? What would happen? He said it might shut the city. It might be bad for Greenville if that happened.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's setting fires, couches on fire in the middle of the street. So hopefully they do well down here. You want to see if you're on a rehab assignment like these guys, like how many reps do they get? Or do they just get 1 or 2 at bats to start, and then you play them a little longer? They're probably on a pitch count, so to speak, obviously with those guys. So it will be fun. Go check those guys out as the Tides and the Orioles, compared to a couple years ago, Brian, where we were out there every week and there was a lot to be excited about, and we had all these top guys coming through. Now the talent is outside of Basayo is pretty thin, and we don't really know the guys that well anymore.
Not like we did,
And then guys have moved on. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, it's how baseball works. I mean, you either move up or you go into your next opportunity.
Yeah, like the Kobe Mayo situation where he kind of made those comments about like, man, I really don't want to be back in Norfolk.
Right.
And even when we went out there, I even said, I said to Kobe, I said, I think anybody with a rational mind understands what you mean by that. You're not dissing the city. We all want you to be in Baltimore and have success.
Right.
I think the fans of AAA baseball know that this, when David Wright came through with the Tides, I don't think they wanted David Wright to play 5 years with the Tides.
5 years. They wanted him to play 5 minutes with the Tides.
They knew, get your 30 games, then we get to see you, and then go make your mark with the Mets.
We did the story earlier this year, I guess. Was it Stowers that set the Tides home run record, right? Or who was it? They set the Tides home run. Who was it? I totally forgot. Who was.
Oh, it was Mayo.
No, the franchise home run record. Remember that? It was.
I think it was Connor Norby.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't Pedro Alvarez.
No, Jeff, look it up. Look it up. Look up Norfolk Tides franchise home run record. It's got to be.
Well, it's also got to be. I think they kind of
like Orioles affiliate.
Exactly.
Yeah, Orioles affiliate.
It is Kyle Stowers.
Yeah, Kyle Stowers. We did the story. We said because he hit like 35 or 40 home runs with the Tides, and his teammates were joking on him. They were like, "Oh, minor league legend," you know what I'm saying?
And I will tell you right now how he's doing with Miami.
Yeah,
he's having a decent year.
Like Crash Davis, in Bull Durham. You don't want to be that.
Right.
He's having a decent year. He's batting 300 with 10 home runs, 31 RBI, and an OPS plus of 143, which means he's very, very good.
He had a walk-off grand slam earlier in the season. The fans love those guys. And Norby, I think he was down on a rehab assignment, but he's been doing well too.
I hope those fans get a chance to enjoy it. When you see pictures of that stadium, sometimes it's kind of few and far between.
In Miami?
Yeah.
You used to have that fish tank behind home plate. They got rid of it.
There's a lot to do down there.
There is a lot going on.
Hey, Kyle Stowers from El Cajon, California. You know who else is from El Cajon, California?
Bob Barker.
No.
John Elway.
2 baseball guys and a racing legend. We have
baseball.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
For racing. The Giles brothers are also from El Cajon, California.
Okay. All right.
So
good. That's good. So anyway, with this, the Orioles, the way I see it is, I think you sell everybody. I think you sell at the deadline. You trade anybody not named. Honestly, you trade anybody not named Gunnar Henderson or Jackson Holiday, and that's about it. I think. I think Adley could be possibly on the move too. If you really think this is an indicator of something larger than maybe just a slump per se.
See, I mean, I think everyone, they should listen to calls for everyone except for Gunnar and Jackson.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
Already the rebuild's already this whole thing is over now.
101 games 2 years ago. 101 games 2 years ago. Won the AL East. Yeah. Swept by the Rangers in the DS. Obviously. Last year you make the playoffs, but you're done, and then now it's just like that. This was supposed to be a core pillar group of players to be the foundation, like almost like the Astros back in the day. You're supposed to have like a 7-8 year run with these guys.
I can guarantee you Cedric Mullins is gone at the deadline.
I
can guarantee you that. He's a fan favorite, but his contract is up at the end of the year. So they're going to need to get something for him.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
I thought when Angelo's, I thought that was the problem was going to get fixed, but
yeah, I don't know, man. And then you're looking for a manager. That's crazy. There's a lot going on with that, man. But the tides have turned based on where we were at a couple years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we thought this team was going to be good for ever.
Literally like a decade.
I mean,
we thought this was going to be a Houston Astros type situation where they tanked for 3 years, and then all of a sudden you're going to be the big kids on the block for the next 10 years. And they're already ready to blow it up after 2.
And now the problem is tanking doesn't do anything anymore because now there's a draft lottery.
Yeah, it's a little different now.
So they can't do the same process that they just did. They're going to have to be more strategic about it, about how they build.
How do you get arms? You draft a young, you're waiting for Paul Skeens to come up again once in a generation. That's not happening very often. So you got to, I don't know, man. I think a good GM, you build through the draft, but you also wheel and deal with free agency. It's like they've tried with the pitching staff in recent years, but outside of Corbin Burns, nothing has really worked.
Yeah, I can tell you what, like,
where do you go?
From my experience, like just being a Cleveland fan, I can tell you what we do how we're always winning 90 games, even though we kind of suck. They trade so well in the front office. They're able to identify these arms that can either bullpen arms or who can become great starters, and they're able to trade for them, and then Cleveland will develop them further along, and then they're able to become very solid starting pitchers. Sometimes you develop a couple Cy Young Award winners in that way too.
Yeah.
But I think that's a major problem for the Orioles. Their pitchers that they have had, John Means, was hurt. Now he's with Cleveland. Now you have Grayson Rodriguez is always hurt.
Yep.
So they can't. The problem is these pitchers can't stay healthy, and the other pitchers that they do get aren't great.
Yep.
They weren't able to re-sign Corbin Burns. They absolutely needed to.
They gave him a pretty good offer too.
They did.
By Orioles standards, it was.
Yeah. He sounded like he wanted to go elsewhere. So that's happened. That's just the business of it all. That's the nature of it all. So I don't know. Get some prospects in and see what happens here. But at the deadline will be very interesting. We're still 2 months away from that.
Disaster. So some of the surprises in Major League Baseball, the Tigers.
Yeah.
That wasn't a surprise to me.
Doing
best
very
record
well,
in the league.
First place. But it is the American League Central. So you talk about how the Indians get the Guardians get the 90 wins. Well, there's a reason that division always seems to get bounced in the whenever they play in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they all don't spend any money.
The Mariners, Mariners having a pretty good season.
Okay.
And then National League East, we have the Phillies, with a 1.5 game lead over the high-priced Mets.
Yeah.
And the Braves lurking there in third place. And
that's a good race. That's a good race.
Nats 10 games back. The Cubs are in first place in the National League Central.
I'll tell you what.
They've clawed their way back.
The Cubs are really good. Pete Crow Armstrong is a star.
Yeah?
That guy is good.
Okay. All right. What's his story? Give me a little background on him.
Well, you ever seen the movie Little Big League?
Did I? I think I did, but it's been so long.
Okay, the mom in Little Big League is actually his mom in real life.
Okay.
So there's a weird connection with Hollywood and him, and he...
I mean, like, was he a high school kid? Was he college? Like, how did he get to the bigs?
I think he came out of college.
Okay,
I mean, look, but he is just unbelievably good.
Okay.
I thought he was just going to be a defensive player, a great defender who can run the bases. This guy found his stroke. He has power.
Okay.
14 home runs already this year.
Yeah.
14 stolen bases. This kid is incredible. He came out of high school. He's from Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
And I hate praising the Cubs because I'm still mad about 10 years ago, but he is an unbelievable player that they have developed.
Yeah.
And that is, I think he actually was traded from the Mets to Chicago at one point.
I mean, the Cubs had to hit rock bottom a little bit a few years ago. Now they've kind of worked their way back to being contenders again.
Yeah, and they're able to spend money too. I mean, they've been they're very cautious about who they pay. Like, I think Dansby Swanson was their last big signing, and he's still pretty good. So they've got the team to make a run this year, and maybe the curse won't be so long for them this time.
When it comes to the MVP, right, the obvious headliner has got to be Judge and Ohtani just going forward again. Oh, like, no doubt.
Okay,
I mean, Judge.
Last night.
What happened last night? I was unplugged. What happened?
The Guardians are playing the Dodgers.
Okay.
First pitch of the game, Ohtani sent it like 5 billion feet.
Yeah, leadoff home run. I did see that. I didn't know he was playing the Guardians, but yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And he's trying to work his way back to the mound,
I'd
too.
love to see that. Wouldn't everybody love to see that?
You see his live BP?
No.
The movement on his ball is still.
Oh, they putting that out there when he goes out there on the mound. They're okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's the most marketable baseball player since forever. Yeah. So
Judge is on track to have another historic season. It seems
he's still one of the best hitters in the game. He is the best hitter in the game, pure hitter in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, they paid him with worked out. Definitely for the Yankees.
Absolutely.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see in a couple years.
Just to think we thought he was on his way to San Francisco a couple years ago, and then it got pulled back at the last second.
Yeah, right.
Or someone had bad information.
I don't know. Judge is only batting .398.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Can you imagine in this modern era of baseball someone breaking 400?
Nah. Yes. You can see it happening.
Yeah. Like, why not?
I don't know. That seems really hard.
Why not?
I mean, it's still early, right? Like, it's May 27th. But who knows?
Well, the closest, Tony Gwynn probably was going to do it in 1994, which would have been probably the best season in baseball history up until that point.
Until the strike.
That was the first year they went to the 3 divisions. The Expos were killing it. They were hands down the best team in baseball. Right. You had the home run record was being challenged with Matt Williams, Ken Griffey Jr., and there was another guy. I forgot. And I don't think it was Mark McGwire.
Palmeiro?
No.
Okay. Canseco?
No.
No.
But the big Matt Williams and Ken Griffey Jr. were two of the guys that were contending for that were going to hit on pace for 60.
Yeah,
it was just going to be an amazing season, and baseball blew it.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
And it took a nice home run race for them to recover. But
couple summers later,
or
4 summers later.
4 summers,
And the funny thing was, back in 1998, when the home run chase was going on, everybody was so blind to this. Okay. Mm-hmm. They were so hungry to see some excitement because it was, let's face it, was awesome to watch Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa battle for the home run record that was insurmountable and never going to happen. It was must-see TV. Fox Network.
Yeah. Cut it.
They would preempt first-run television shows.
Yep.
First-run television shows and pick up a live baseball game.
Oh, yeah. I was watching it. I was watching every day I could.
I was 7 years old.
That summer, I was watching every day.
But the thing is, we were so blind to the fact that back then, everybody was like, this is pretty strange that these balls are going out there like this. and then you know what the people said?
What they say?
The balls are juiced.
Oh, that's right.
The balls are juiced.
Balls are juiced up now.
Nobody even thought of the fact that, I don't know, Mark McGwire looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger all of a sudden.
A small pocket of people that knew what was going on. Everyone else turned to
Why are all these guys bursting out of their jerseys? Can't they just get bigger jerseys?
Hey, man.
I mean, when Brady Anderson of the Orioles hit 50 home runs, that's when it was like, okay, something's not adding up here.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
And if you look at it was crazy. Guys like there's a guy like Kevin Elster who was a shortstop and with the Mets and played for the Tides. I think he was with the Rangers. And even he had 20 home runs or something around that time when he's not a 20 home run a year kind of guy. You know, it's just amazing how blind we were to the fact that we were just lapping it up, man. Everybody loved it so much.
You know what? I don't even care that
Bud Selig loved it too.
I don't even care that they did steroids. I thought it was awesome.
You know, hey man, for entertainment value, no matter where you fall in the morality stance, you know, the entertainment value, you can't beat it.
They're all trying to get an edge.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
and they all have medical teams that can do things and say we've concocted this and we've put all this together in this batch and we've tested it and take this twice a day.
Interesting rabbit hole if you ever want to go down. It's like baseball off-season training videos. Like these pitchers are getting like super intricate with like spin rate, and then when they get on them, they have these labs. It's insanely level of detail these pitchers and hitters are getting into, especially in the off-season.
Yeah, it's down to a science.
But it's literally exact science.
So. Well, A-Rod, when he got one of the times he got busted for the PEDs. I think the first time he said honestly, it was the pressure to live up to the contract.
Right.
You know, when you sign a $250 million contract, you have to deliver.
Yeah.
And, you know, he succumbed to the pressure. And I can see it. I can understand it. And,
For sure.
and a lot of these guys, it's the guys like Ryan Braun that give it a bad name that, you know, you failed the drug test, just fess up, dude, you know?
Yeah. Don't blame the FedEx guy.
You got your suspension.
Poor FedEx guy.
You know, you still got all your money. And it's just strange. It's just funny how, though, in football, you could have, like Sean Merriman got a 4-game suspension for PEDs.
Right.
And nobody seems to care. It's like, well, it's football. What do you expect? Those guys they've got to get an edge. Yeah. But when a baseball player gets busted, the sanctimony of the game. Oh, my goodness, how dare you desecrate the history of the game.
Baseball is more based in purity.
It depends on if it's a young player. They usually get a little bit more leeway. Like, think of Fernando Tatis Jr. He got popped a couple years ago.
Got like 80 games.
He got an 80 game. It's an automatic 80-game suspension the first time you get popped.
Right.
So, and you know, it was a whole thing. He missed the entire season. He was injured anyway.
And he was coming off the injury. Yeah. Right.
So, but now look at him. He's still producing. He's still a highlight reel player, and people don't seem to have forgotten or not care that he got busted for.
I would argue as sort of quote unquote casual viewer, a guy like Tatis, his superstardom has suffered though because of it. Because I don't see I mean, SportsCenter, when Tatis was at his peak 3 years ago, was putting him on every day like lead story. Look at what Tatis did today. I don't think they do that anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's as productive as he was 3 years ago, but I think it's partly because of him getting caught up. So.
Well, when Bartolo Colon, I think he failed a PED test, but nobody really seemed to care.
Well,
about
he's
that.
Too likable for it.
I know. The greatest home run ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll never see it again because, again, baseball doesn't let pitchers hit anymore in the National League, which I thought it was awesome. I loved it. I mean, come on, man. Why not? It's part of it. If you have a good hitting pitcher, then that's an advantage. Yeah. If you have a Mike Hampton, a Dwight Gooden, a Fernando Valenzuela, these guys, Kerry Wood, these guys that can actually hit.
Yeah.
A Shohei Ohtani.
That's taking it to another level.
Yeah. Just go out there if you're watching this week to Harbor Park, just to localize this again. Cowser and Westberg in Norfolk on a AAA assignment or on a rehab assignment. Go out and check them out. Are we good here? We're going to take one more break.
Let's take one more break.
And
talk
NBA. Odds and ends coming up.
NBA playoffs coming up. Okay, we're back. Final block of Sports Wrap Overtime on this Tuesday afternoon. Craig Loper, Jeff Snyder, Brian Parsons here. You guys enjoying the NBA playoffs? Thunder up 3-1.
I watched last night.
I love it.
Knicks down 2-1. Game 3.
They came back from 20.
Yeah, came down from 20. The Karl Anthony Towns. I was watching that game. Oh my God, that was first time I feel like I've ever seen Cat like take over a game.
Third quarter he was awful. Fourth quarter he was unbelievable.
I have a bad feeling about the Knicks though, man. Like I'm glad they won Game 3, but like I think it's over.
Brunson's a liability on defense.
It's bad. 4 fouls in the first half. I think Indiana and OKC are on a clash course, and it's so crazy to even say that out loud. Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder should probably meet in the NBA Finals.
Two of the smallest markets.
So crazy.
We thought it was going to be Cleveland and OKC, but I did.
That didn't work out. Indiana, man, the way they move the ball, their continuity, Tyrese being a humble superstar. Miles Turner can shoot it. Nembhard, Naismith, like these guys, they just it's just meshed. It's like a good basketball team.
And the heck of a coach in Rick Carlisle.
And with all the experience.
Done a ton. Former UVA guy.
Okay.
Rick
Yeah,
Carlisle.
that's right. Yeah.
Won an NBA championship with the Dallas Mavericks, and he's just a very respected NBA head coach. And,
and he knows what he's doing.
I like guys like that. You know? I like a guy like a Rick Carlisle. You know, it's kind of the tough guy, been around the block, and no nonsense.
No.
In his interviews, man.
Oh yeah,
that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
You know.
No, his interviews are awesome.
Don't sugarcoat this.
And then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander going off for 40 last night, or he had 39 and like 39, 9 and 8, or 39, 9 and 9, or
49 and 10.
49 and 10.
Yeah.
And this is when legends are made. This is when you make your name in the NBA playoffs.
Shea's doing it.
Yeah.
I'm in a group chat with a lot of Oklahoma guys, and they follow every game and they talk about it and they post all these Thunder analytics and everything. And Shea is a humble superstar, deservedly, MVP, and Oklahoma City. That city is lit up every time the Thunder plays downtown OKC.
Their second big three.
Yes, yeah. Holmgren, Williams, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
That's a big three.
And Shea is the oldest of the group. He's 26. The rest of them, Chet is 24. The other guy is 25.
And Oklahoma City does this because they draft extremely well.
Yep.
And it's crazy how
they trade really well.
They trade well.
They trade well too.
They pay the right guys.
The big winners of the Kawhi Leonard, Paul George situation is Oklahoma City.
Yeah. That's
because Paul George got traded
to the Clippers
from OKC,
and got a huge haul for him, and it turned into all these guys.
Unbelievable.
And Shea was part of that trade. That's what's so crazy. People forget. I was actually thinking about this the other day, like, and I'm not like intricate following every college basketball game by any means, but like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is from Canada, but he went to Kentucky. Like, Kentucky's a huge program, but by no means was Shea like the superstar, like Anthony Davis at Kentucky was. He was just kind of like another guy that happened to be another first round pick out of Kentucky, and now he's turned into this. And I'm like, when did he come through Kentucky? I think he was a 2018 draft. I think that sounds right. Maybe 2018, 2019. But crazy.
I think Coach Cal was still doing it, man.
Still
getting those guys.
I mean, just pick Kentucky guards. If you know anything about NBA front office, pick Kentucky guards. The list has been long for a long time.
2018 when he came out.
Yeah, exactly. But he was kind of like, I feel like he was under the radar for Kentucky.
But Oklahoma City gets these guys, they draft them, and they have them under control for the next however many years before they're a free agent, so they don't have to pay them.
Yeah. I think I got another
much
3-4 years with the kind of this core, and then we'll see what happens.
Because they're not going to be able to keep all those guys.
Definitely not. No, you have to pivot around some pieces, see what happens with Hartenstein. Caruso probably gets out the door, and some of these other guys, role players that
I don't know if you mentioned Jalen Williams had a great game last night, 34 points.
Yeah. Gosh dang, and then Lou Dort, like stuff like that. They got it was well-built team. They're fun to watch. Fun to watch.
Lou Dort.
Yeah, 3-1 up over Minnesota. Anthony Edwards looks frustrated. I mean, you're watching his body language. Two shots in the first half, 16 points for the game.
Not a great game.
They're locking him down. Team defense, man. Good team defense.
It's actually Alexander Walker, Nickeil Alexander Walker, who's actually SGA's cousin.
Correct.
Led scoring for the Timberwolves last night, 23 points.
I will say though, if I had to choose one, I really like this Indiana Knicks series. Like I'm more invested in that one almost because I feel like OKC's a wrap.
Yeah.
But if New York wins tonight on Tuesday night, then okay, that's kind of interesting to me. Going back to the Garden for Game 5.
Where we we have a game tonight
tonight.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 8 or 8:30 or
it's at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. If the Knicks can win tonight, I would love to see that. All I root for is 7 games in NBA playoffs. That's all that I want.
Pacers are favored by 2.5 if you're into that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. At the field house.
All right, that makes sense. Home team.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
We got a boxing match coming up here.
Yep.
Yeah,
that
change
is
gears a little bit.
Sneaking up on us rather quickly.
Correct. Keyshawn Davis back in action for his first defense of his WBO lightweight belt. In Norfolk at Scope, June 7th. June 8th. Let me pull up the calendar here.
It's the Saturday of Harborfest weekend.
There it is. Yeah, June 7th.
Downtown Norfolk's going to be hopping.
There we go. So Keyshawn, I think they sold like 10,000 plus tickets last time. We'll see what happens this time if they pack it out. They're going to bring a show. Top Rank's going to bring the production.
Edwin De Los Santos.
Yeah, De Los Santos. We're looking forward to the press conference announcement probably tomorrow or Thursday. Probably talk to them probably next week on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then the weigh-in will be, the weigh-in might be Thursday. So the press conference might probably be Tuesday. next week.
And I'll tell you one thing, Keyshawn and his people, led by Evan Korn, have done just an amazing job of keeping us in the loop and informed and accessibility. And that's been really good to us and all of the media in Hampton Roads.
They take it serious. They want to make sure we get everything we need. They want the fans to know all the details of this. Keyshawn's great behind a camera, microphone, loves always hyping up his brothers. The brand is good. The brand is strong. Local boxing, Brian, you know this. You were around for the heyday. I don't know if it's necessarily at that level, until Keyshawn keeps continuing to grow, but there's an energy to it that's palpable and good for the 757.
Yeah, it's just it's an awesome thing to see. It's like a different version of than when Sweet Pea kind of laid the foundation by winning the gold medal and then having world championship fights on HBO and pay-per-view at Scope.
Yeah,
and to kind of put Norfolk on the map as kind of a boxing. I wouldn't say mecca, but maybe a little bit. But we also had Gloria Peak, who was a coach in the Olympics.
Yep.
Training some of these young kids. Keyshawn was one of them, and his two are the brothers fighting.
Yes,
on that card as well.
Correct. Yep.
I don't know if they've actually released the whole card yet.
Yeah, Keon and Kelvin will be fighting. They're all three of them. So they will.
And the entrance that Keyshawn had last time with the Booker T. Washington band,
so awesome. That gave me chills. It gave me chills. It literally was really so cool. This time. My guess is I'll put this out there for my prediction because you can't do a band again, right? It's been done. I think you got to do Pusha T walking out Keyshawn. That you have to do Pusha T, whatever song. I'm not like locked into Pusha T's portfolio by any means, but whatever Pusha T song that is Norfolk, born and raised, you put him out and you put him in front of Mike. You walk out Keyshawn and Pusha T.
Well, Sweet Pea did with Norfolk State's band a couple of times, and that was pretty incredible.
Yep. I think if you're Keyshawn, I don't think you can do the band again. I don't think you do a band. I think you got to do something different. I think I do something different.
And these fights, man, when the crew that they bring in, Top Rank and ESPN, it's just the way Scope looks.
Yes,
it just looks
so
big
cool.
time.
Big time.
They do a great job.
Unbelievable
with that production.
And it's really awesome. They're coming back so quickly.
Yeah,
they are coming. Like they must have really liked the numbers they had. On that fight.
Like, it showed so well.
It did. It looked awesome. It
showed so well.
The only thing I think that that was unfortunate for me, and I love Top Rank. I just wish that fight would have been on like a ESPN2 on a Friday night. That was what I'm hoping for.
Well, he's working his way there.
He's working his way there. They put it on ESPN Plus, and I'm like, oh man, I wish we're not quite there yet, but that's okay.
That was the middle of football season, wasn't it?
Yeah. November. It was late November.
Right. A Friday night.
It was a Friday.
We had Friday night flights
Friday
that
night
night.
Flights. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's how I remember it. So yeah, get Keyshawn on ESPN2 one of these nights on a Saturday or something. That would be the goal. But shout out to Evan Korn. They did, and after that whole fight, Evan texted me and said how impressed they were with how Norfolk, the Hampton Roads, showed up because he said we expected it to do well, but I don't think they expected that. And I think the key with that is they were there and they felt it. Like, oh, okay, this is different than any other hometown they've done.
The area turned out.
It turned out, man. Yeah. I wish Keyshawn would have played with that guy a little bit longer back in November, whatever, a couple years ago now. But it was over in the second round. I was like, I wanted to see more talent on display for longer, but that's okay.
It just shows that there are some pockets of the country that will draw for this.
Oh, for sure.
And Norfolk's one of them because we're just such a transient area and people come from all over.
But people want I think a lot of people will cheer for the hometown guy and the markets.
For sure.
People are going to step up.
Yeah.
Wherever the hometown guy is.
I mean, the example that I use for me is like my barber. I've been going to the same barber for 3 years here. He, as soon as the tickets got released, he went and bought a ticket. He was like, I think he got 3 or 4 tickets actually.
And those tickets are not cheap.
No. But he's doing it. He's like, I have to do it.
It's a whole night, man. It's like it's a few hours to go watching boxing.
Oh yeah. You want to be there for the build up and co-feature or the all the rounds. And if you want to support the DB3, the brothers, then you got to be there for Kelvin.
And highly recommended to see boxing live because those punches on television. They hit different when you're in person.
Yeah,
you see the different angles. When you can tell when a fighter is hurt and the other fighter smells blood, and the crowd starts to simmer and it starts to kind of boil, and the crowd everybody, you're all in it together. We can all sense it at the same time. There's something magical about that. When you see a knee buckle, you're like, oh no. That's the gazelle that stubs its paw on a stone when it's getting chased by the cheetah.
right.
And then you just see it happen. There's just something about it when that crowd boils up.
A good body shot, and guys, you see him grab, for his kidney or something, and then all of a sudden, like you said, out for blood after that. So it'll be fun. We'll hopefully have that press conference. We'll probably do next week's episode or maybe the week after talking about it. So
maybe we can get one of them in here.
It's not a bad idea actually. We'll definitely be in contact about it. So. Yeah, good stuff. Also, high school spring stuff going on.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
to.
our lives are about to change for the next month.
Right.
Starting tomorrow, the road to state championships in boys soccer, girls soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball.
Yeah,
it's on, man.
Yeah, we got to plug in and lock in.
It is
one of your
on,
busiest
brother.
times of the year.
Yeah, this is tough.
We get some emails from some of our high school sports fans in Hampton Roads, and we appreciate the enthusiasm. We got a lacrosse email recently, and it's like, we're gonna get to lacrosse. We'll get there. We get there when the games mean more.
Exactly.
The games mean more at this stage when you hit playoffs, and we're gonna get out there.
And it's not like we're dissing lacrosse or anything. It's just we only have so many people.
Yeah. My point is, when you send us the emails, we see them, we hear you, we respect it. It just know we're gonna get there when the playoffs start. We'll start talking, like Brian just said, girls soccer, boys soccer, softball. Everything, lacrosse, baseball. I mean, it's
and not only that, but it's also across 6 different classifications.
Correct.
So we do the math. I mean, every I haven't even put the schedule together yet, but when you look at it, it's something like, oh my gosh, between all these sports, we only have 113 teams still alive.
If you want to break it down from class 6 to class 1, crazy. Yeah.
In all the sports. Yeah. It is like that. And track and field too coming up.
And exactly. So it's a whole lot to go for, but we'll try to do our best that we can with it. Just like we try to do our best we can on the show. We hope you're going to enjoy it. Share it with your family and friends. Jeff, how we looking?
We still got a couple minutes.
Okay. All right. Share it with your family and friends. Everything looks good. You did a conversation with Jeff Jones last week.
Oh, yeah. That was fascinating.
Very cool.
Yeah, he was very cool. He's got a big gala coming up, and that guy's got stories for days.
Yep.
Although I'm very disappointed, though. He's from Owensboro, Kentucky.
Okay.
I was doing some research on Owensboro, Kentucky. I was like, I'm going to get Jeff on this stuff. I'm
okay.
going to get him. He did not even know about the fact that the world's largest sassafras tree is in Owensboro, Kentucky.
I don't even know what kind of tree that is.
I was like, I just imagine Jeff had his first kiss at 13 underneath the sassafras tree in Owensboro.
That's a big tourist attraction down there.
I don't think there's much else going on there.
That's hilarious.
Nah.
That's so funny. I wouldn't even know where to point it out on a map.
No idea.
It was interesting during that show that we recorded last week. Snyder found out that Old Dominion and Norfolk State had signed a new home-and-home basketball series.
Oh, you found out on the show?
James texted me, hey, can you ask him about this? Not knowing
that you didn't know.
There was a history.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Jeff Jones said, well, my mom told me that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So we'll leave it at that, Coach. No
That's
problem.
Crazy. Yeah.
But it's a good game for the area, man.
Yeah, you got to do it.
When both venues are going to be packed to the gills, and the intensity is going to be off the charts, and everybody's going to leave having a good time. They need to find who wins or loses.
They need to find a compromise with that. It should be every year. That should be no doubt every year. Like, I don't care, politics, whatever. Put it all water under the bridge from whatever in the pit. Like, make it happen.
And it's going to be on Veterans Day, so it's going to be for 2 years straight. So,
and NSU head coach Robert Jones, he's still campaigning for the big 757 Classic. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we got to get all 4 teams together and play like a classic, like they do in Philly with the Big 5.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know how it would work, but it would be awesome. It's good thought. It's good,
right?
Banter. It is. I just like, how do you do it? The ADs and the presidents and everybody on the same schedules, and
it's hard. It's hard.
Well, we're at time, guys.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Like I said, share it with your family and friends. For Brian Parsons and Jeff Snyder, I'm Craig Loper. It's been Sports Wrap Overtime. We'll see you next week.